A Simple Pastor's Devotion, July 17th, 20. Now, I was talking to my daughter the other day, and she said, Dad, it seems like in church they never talk about real issues going on in life today. And I thought about that. So today I kind of want to attempt to talk about a real issue. America is in upheaval. We are a divided nation right now. People are fighting like crazy, and in my opinion, over crazy stuff. But we aren't coming together. But how does that affect the Christian? I think we're living in a day and age where it would be real easy to give up. Be real easy to become apathetic towards the needs of others. Because what's the use? Nothing's happening. It's just getting more and more confusing. But that's what our enemy, Satan, would want us to do. But in these times is when Christians really do need to trust God knows what he's doing. God does have a plan. God does have a victory. We need to trust God. I was thinking of Elijah back in 1 Kings 19. And he went through that. After a great spiritual victory over the prophets of Baal, Jezebel, the wayward queen, came and made a promise that he would die before the sun went down. And after hearing about that, how Elijah responded after standing up to these prophets of Baal all by himself. This one queen makes a threat, and Elijah took off running. 1 Kings 19 says, Ahab told Jezebel how Elijah had done, all that Elijah had done, and how he had killed all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel sent a messenger to Elijah, saying, So may the gods do to me and more also, if I do not make your life as the life of one of them by this time tomorrow. Then he was afraid, and he arose and ran for his life and came to Beersheba, which belongs to Judah, and left his servant there. Elijah ran off into the wilderness, so much a wilderness that God had to literally provide for him in his weak state after the hard journey. And then after angels provided for Elijah for a few days, God took Elijah to a mountain to talk to him. And I want to pick it up there, verse 9. There he came to a cave, and he lodged in it. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him and said to him, What are you doing here, Elijah? Another way of saying that is, why are you running from Jezebel? He said, I've been very jealous for the Lord, the God of hosts. For the people of Israel have forsaken your covenant, thrown down your altars, and killed your prophets with the sword. And I, even I only, am left, and they seek my life to take it away. And he said, Go out and stand on the mound before the Lord, and behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind tore the mountain and broke it in pieces, the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, the sound of a low whisper. And when Elijah heard it, he wrapped his face in his cloak, and he went out and stood at the entrance of the cave. And behold, there came a voice to him and said, What are you doing here, Elijah? And he said, I have been very jealous for the Lord, the God of hosts. For the people of Israel have forsaken your covenant, and thrown down your altars, and killed your prophets with the sword. And I, even I only, am left, and they seek my life to take it away. And the Lord said to him, Go, return on your way to the wilderness of Damascus. And when you arrive, you shall anoint Hazael the king of Syria, and Jehu the king of Timshi, you shall anoint to be king over Israel. And Elisha the son of Japhet of Abel Meholah, you shall anoint to be prophet in your place. And the one who escapes from the sword of Hazael shall Jehud put to death. And the one who escapes from the sword of Jehu shall Elisha put to death. Yet I will leave 7,000 in Israel, all the knees that have not bowed to Baal, and every mouth that has not kissed him. You know, the Lord came to Elijah not in some powerful thing that we would think. He wasn't in the fire. He wasn't in the earthquake. It wasn't in the rumble or the thunder. No, he came in the whisper. I wonder if our ears are tuning in to the whisper of the Spirit. Are we tuning in to the Word of God? You know, this is not the time to be fearful. This is not the time to run and barricade yourself in the mountains. This is a time to shine as the light of the Lord. 7,000 did not bow the knee. May we be among the remnant who continue to hold to Jesus and uplift his name in a needy world. May we keep our eyes on being a witness for Christ and the love of God to a hurting world. Until we meet the Lord in the air, keep looking up. Clint Hiley, pastor and village missionary.